Hello everyone, and welcome to this new video where we go together the incredible legends around Lake Windermere. Located in the north of England, Lake Windermere is well known for its fabulous scenery. However, in recent years, this lake has been talked about for a completely different reason. Its dark and very deep waters ruled an immense and still elusive sea creature. Since 2006, many witnesses have reported seeing a strange shape more than 10 meters long moving in this lake. One of the most intriguing testimonies would be that of Thomas Noblesse, who in 2006, when he was crossing the lake with one of his friends, you will witness an incredible scene that will remain etched in your memory. He was crossing the lake with one of his friends when a huge plate will lift Thomas and let him fall to the ground. The two men reported not having succeeded in determining the nature of the animal and having seen a silhouette of more than 10 minnows continue on the lake before disappearing under the water. But the most amazing thing is that the two men are not the only witnesses of this creature. For several years, this creature manifested itself numerous times a year later in 2007. It was Linda Adams, professional photographer, who wandered around the Lake Windermere region for this fabulous landscape. He will succeed in taking an incredible shot that will make all skeptics doubt. He was walking with his wife around the lake when suddenly he saw a huge shape swimming in the middle of the lake. He will then take several pictures and send them to specialists to understand what he has photographed. The experts looked at the photos, managed to determine that they were not faked, but failed to determine the nature of the shape present in this image. Some of them will even say that this was the first time they were faced with such a case. But it does not stop there, because in 2009, it is John Mackinson, professional gamerman, who will film images of the lake that will remain at the present time inexplicable. Some theories state that these are simply ferry grooves, because in the region you should know that ferries are pulled by cables where this kind of phenomenon can result, and the nearest ferry is over 1 kilometer north of what happened. This makes this theory very unlikely. Experts who have looked into this film even claim that there is not one but two creatures on this video and would return several furrows in the water. The major problem these experts are going to raise is that, as with all other cryptids, either the creature doesn't exist and it's just coincidence or figments of our imagination, either there should be at least 10 or 12 to allow the species to reproduce and continue to persist over time. For generally, in all animal species, the young do not yet reproduce and the old do not reproduce. It is therefore almost impossible that there are only two immortal Christians present in this lake. However, the story does not stop there, and there will be a new couple of witnesses in 2011. Going on vacation to enjoy a beautiful day and kayaking, something amazing is going to happen. They will have a very long and very strange shape passing close to them. At first they will think it is a huge fish, but the picture they are going to take is still considered to be the most accurate description that can be made of the Windermere lake monster. Since 2011, a number of witnesses have reported seeing a creature with distinct characteristics. It has bumps and a vertical movement pattern indicative of a mammal, since reptiles typically move side to side. Drawing parallels to the enigmatic Loch Ness monster, numerous scientists and researchers persist in embarking on expeditions to identify and uncover this well-known creature. The pursuit of concrete results might span many more years, and like the Loch Ness monster, we might never fully unravel the truth about this renowned entity in Lake Wonder. It is in Scotland that the Loch Ness Lake is located, and which, for more than a century, would be the scene of incredible mysteries more than 300 m deep. Legends tell that there would be a huge creature that would see in the depths of this lake named Nessie. Legends around this lake are said to have started in the 19th century and speak of a huge sea creature that would protect the seabed. But in reality, it will be that in 1933, the first cliché of this cryptid will surface, and that the legend will really make itself known throughout the world. Two innkeepers named Les Mackay were hiking around Loch Ness when they saw a very waterproof thing coming out of the lake. They described seeing water boiling. A hump would have appeared as a species of whale, and knowing very well the legends around this lake, they immediately made the connection between the monster and what they saw. As a result of their testimony, there will be many new photos and videos that will appear on the internet. Many of these photo recordings will be considered fake, but fortunately, a small part of them will be considered authentic or inexplicable. There are many films that were considered very strange and were examined by photographic specialists. It was never possible to demonstrate that these films were fake, and none of the specialists could determine what they were. From there, many scientists and researchers will try to look into this mystery in order to solve this investigation, and no hypothesis will be set aside. Whether it is a monster of gas emissions or a species of fish still unknown, all the hypotheses will be issued, and at the end of the 60s, the number of witnesses will be considerable. There will be more than 10,000 testimonies that will be recorded. Imagine at the moment the number of testimonies we have of this creature, despite technological advances, unfortunately. No one has yet made a final hypothesis about the mysterious Loch Ness monster. There are still too many assumptions. Some theories suggest that they could simply be trunks rising to the surface and creating these strange shapes. Others explain that it is impossible for a species to live alone, so if there is one monster, there must be several so that they can persist no matter what happens. The mysterious Loch Ness monster is part of our historical heritage. It is in the waters of Cadboro Bay, west of Vancouver, that one might find a mysterious creature. More than 200 witnesses then reported seeing a very strange creature and wandering in this bay. Some even filmed it. According to the various witnesses, it would be a creature still unknown and which would have been nicknamed Caddy. It would be a huge sea serpent of more than 15 meters long, endowed with a kind of horse head adorned with a huge mane. Some will describe her as Messie's or Boson's cousin. It was Jean. We would have started with a couple of witnesses who would have reported having seen a mysterious creature wandering in the bay. They would have described a huge snake with 2 bumps on its back. They will say that it was indeed a live animal, but they were unable to identify which animal it was. For them, it could not be a piece of wood or a species that we. He had never seen this before. Over time, the legend will grow and Kenji will become a local figure. There will even be many cryptozoologists going to the scene to try to get a film of this creature. People who have studied this case believe that Kenji has been around since at least the 18th century, and some researchers claim it could be a very ancient species of dinosaur that survived. That the most disturbing in 1937 is that of a strange creature which will have found itself in the stomach of a sperm whale. There are many archives of this carcass, and these archives show several photos of this creature. As you can see, it is a very strange animal about 3 meters long, with a rather thin body resembling that of a snake. He would have the head of a horse. And what's very strange about this remains is that people who have studied it say that it doesn't look like any species of animal that we know of, and it would fit the description that most people would make of Caddy. Except in this case, it would be a young Caddy. A few years later, a percher also claimed to have pulled up a baby Caddy in his net. This Kaji was alive, and he is so scared of them that they are thrown into the sea. No, they wouldn't even have taken the time to take a picture. In addition, there are many testimonies that claim that there is not a single shopping cart and that they would have seen several creatures at the same time walking around the bay. And for researchers, this is all the more likely because for a species to survive, it is impossible that there was only one dinosaur that survived until today. There should therefore logically be between 10 and 20 individuals for the species to persist over time. Even today, there are many testimonies that report seeing Caddy, but with technological advances, it is impossible to tell if these recordings are not faked. Despite the research that has been carried out, the mystery remains intact. It will surely be worth a long time before a person can put forward a concrete proof of this cryptid. It's already the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to tell me in the comments, and if you have other topics like that, you want me to cover it in my next videos. If you're interested in limiting people, you can see all the other episodes. You can like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. It's Tiki Coinfire. Peace out.